Cutting your feet is bad technique. Cutting feet, let's just quickly look at what it is and what it does. First off, the technique of cutting feet offers you something that no other technique can offer you. And that offering is the ability to look badass. In all climbing, there's no cooler move than the move that divorces the feet from the wall and leaves you just hanging from your arms. And just because a move requires a lot of strength doesn't mean it's not a technique. Technique is not synonymous with weakness, and I would just like to add that being weak is nothing to be proud of. It's legitimately, literally a weakness. Technique is simply, for me at least, path of least resistance, typically going in this direction. And hey, sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes the path of least resistance is known as cutting feet. Take Digitalis Proud V5 for example. When I first did it without cutting feet, it ended up quite horribly. I had trouble getting to the good part of the sloper and I wasn't able to grab onto the jug on top. But when I finally opted to use the technique of cutting feet, I got to the good hole a lot easier and I was able to slap for the jug on top so much easier. So why does cutting feet work? Well, cutting feet works because all it does is it elevates your reach. Same example as earlier. It's not like my arms got longer, my body just physically got higher, therefore I was able to elevate my reach. And let's not forget that cutting feet can look like this, just foot swapping, without worrying about being super delicate, via the usage of your arm prowess for tis but the moment mate. And when it comes to cutting feet, there are a few methods. Digitalis Proud. This method is just a swinging from the right to the left, meaning you're gonna bring your hips away from the wall and then drive them back into the wall in a diagonal fashion. The straight up dino is probably my favorite. So from here, you're gonna take your hips, you're gonna sag it away from the wall until it's directly beneath the hole that you wanna go to. From there, I want you to just jump literally straight up and pull up. Once you catch the hole, because your hips are already beneath the hole, the swing that you will have to catch is very minimal, as opposed to starting with your hips really close to the wall and then jumping up. And once you catch the hole, your hips will swing out because they're away from the hole that's beneath your shoulders and your hand starting hole. I hope that makes sense. To practice these types of moves, you can just do some latches, right? Grab a hold at ground level and then jump up and latch onto another hold. And to make it very applicable for climbing, once you do catch the hold, you should bring up your feet, because bringing up your feet for a hand-foot match is a very applicable style of climbing that will be transferable to your own climbing. In addition to these latches, don't forget to latch diagonally, which will add some spice of life to your lifeist. And also don't forget to try to latch while throwing your body backwards to get you accustomed to all the angles upon which you might have to latch onto a hold. You can also latch a hold and let go of the down hand to practice, pretending like you're swinging real hard with just one arm. And one drill that I really like to do that really helps me get comfortable with catching these holds is I'll get into the catch position already, and then from here I'll kick my body away from the wall and try to control the swing. I'll do this a few times to gain confidence in that position. Works really well actually. And to add a little bit of variation to all your latches, once you get the initial latch and catch, feel free just do a campus move up to another hold. And sometimes some boulders are best done just campusing, like take this one for example. It's just so much easier just to campus this little section as opposed to try and find some very convoluted foot beta that's just impossible to discover, honestly. And it's not often that a climb is easily done with the feet cutting, but sometimes they do exist, so you can't be close-minded to the possibility of the technique of the cutting of the feet. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, partner.